Okay, today's June 9th, and about 10:30 in the morning. I'm sitting here in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, waiting for something to do after making my delivery and one pickup over in Exton. So I'm sitting here doing nothing. I decided they say it's gonna be hot today, so of course I'm sitting outside enjoying it while I wait. June 7th, I was up at Americade in Lake George, New York. I got chosen from www.riderdiaries.com. It's a new website. That link is right here. You can check it out. It was a random choice, and I got to ride with one of their writers, Clement Salvadori, and I also had the added pleasure of meeting Brian and Shira, publishers of Backroads magazine, Backroads Motorcycle Tour magazine. It's a great free magazine. You can get them in a lot of dealerships. It's mostly regional, but it is an excellent magazine. I highly recommend it. It's the first time I saw it, but I highly recommend it. The website, I'm sure they have a website. I'll post up the website. That website is right here. Anyways, so after I decided I was going to go, I was deciding whether I wanted to go or not. You know, I'm standing there, and all week long, when I found out May 25th I was going to go, that I got chosen, I didn't know if I was going to go or not. I didn't really have the money, but I'd hate to, even when I was riding up, when I was passing Allentown, even when I got, because I ran up 78 to 33 to 209 through Delaware Water Gap and Bushkill Falls, and then on 84 up to 87 to Newburgh, and then 87 north through Albany, and then up to Lake George. So even when I was getting up there, up to Matamoros, Pennsylvania, I was like, do I really want to go? I don't really want to ride up here, you know. But then I thought, you know, I'd hate to later on in life say, I wish I'd done that. Too many times I say, I wish I'd done that. I'd rather say, I can't believe I did that. Monday, June 6th, I left right after work about 4:30 in the afternoon, and I left right from work, and I rode, and I just kept riding, and I rode up. It was uneventful. I rode through 78 to 33, and 33, the section of 33, I couldn't believe all the dead deer. Every 3 to 5 miles. Sometimes there were 2 and 3 in the same spot. I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. I'm riding up through, then I hit 209. I'm going through 209, and didn't see any deer. I came out at Matamoros, 209, where it's a lot of businesses around and everything, and there's a lot of traffic. So I'm riding along. A deer walks out in front of the car that's ahead of me, and he just misses it. And I was like, holy shit. So anyways, so I stopped for gas. That's the first time I stopped for gas. And I'm rolling along. I hit 84, no problem. I got it pegged at about 70 is my comfort zone on my motorcycle, but I had it at about 75. The cars are still passing me, so I'm cruising along 75. I've been up to OCC before, but I ran up 78 to 287 that way. This time I wanted to avoid as many tolls as possible. I don't like to give New Jersey or New York anything if I don't have to. So anyways, I'm cruising along 84, and I get to Newburgh, and I can't remember what time it was, but it was still light out. So I'm cruising up. I get on the thruway, and I'm cruising, still 80 miles to Albany. The first leg of the trip, since it was going to be so late, and I didn't want to leave at 2 in the morning Tuesday. I could have done that, but I didn't want to leave 2 in the morning Tuesday. So I'm cruising up, and it's starting to get dark. I get to the hotel about 9:40, 10 o'clock. I got there at 10 o'clock. We had a lot of night construction. I hit a lot of night construction. But I get up about 7 o'clock. I left at 8. I start taking my time up there. I get to Lake George about 9. It's only 58 miles or so from Albany to Lake George. So the total mileage trip is something like 330, 319. I don't know. It's something around 319, 330 between there. So I get up to Lake George, and I'm a little early to meeting Clem at his hotel, which was supposed to be 11 o'clock. I get there about 9, so I'm not really into these big events. I don't like the crowds and everything, and but it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. I didn't pay to go into anything. I checked out some of the demo rides, and everything that was free, and checked out some of the attendees' rides. I'll put the link to my photographs in the description here. Anyway, they get up there, and I videotape some bikes, some groups of riders back and forth, and I stop and take a picture of this restored Willys Jeep. It's pretty cool. I'll picture that. Picture's right there. Pretty cool, huh? So I start cruising. So there's not much going on. I'm just looking at different things. A lot of cool bikes. About 10:45, I go down to Clement's Hotel. Call him up. If you ever read Rider Magazine, his column is called Road Tales, and he writes an editorial every month in Rider Magazine. So anyways, I meet him. He's cool. We take a couple pictures, and I have the pleasure to meet Shira and Brian of, like I said, Backroads Magazine. They were riding two BMWs, pictured right here. You know, they're decked out with all the farkles. They got GPS, everything. You know, I'm not really into that, but it's cool. It's cool. So we all get ready to go. We take a couple pictures. We all get ready to go, and I get on my bike. Clem gets up in front on his Harley, and that's pictured right here. That's his Harley. That's him in the corner, and that's my Honda. We pull out of the hotel, we're cruising along, and it's really beautiful up there. If you've never been to Lake George, you ought to check it out. It's really nice. So we're cruising along, we're riding along, and there's some traffic, but it's not too bad. And I think it was 9N we rode up. And we're riding along, it's real nice. Clem's way up front, I'm here. Shira and Brian are behind me on their BMWs, taking up the back end. So we're cruising along, and it's a really nice area. Check it out if you ever get a chance. So we're cruising along, and we end up pulling into this little parking area where, you know, scenic view area where you can take pictures. And that video, there's a little bit of video that I took right there. Pretty nice. Lake George is beautiful. I wish I could have gone swimming. I just didn't have the time. I was only going up for the day. Basically driving up to Lake George for lunch. So we stopped there for a while, drink some water, and take some pictures, and then we take off again, heading up 9N, and we're cruising along, and it's really beautiful. Here's some video of that. You can also click on this and see the full video. It's really long because I didn't really want to edit anything out because it was really awesome for me. I really enjoyed it, and I didn't want to cut anything. So you can click on. You can just watch the short video here. You can watch a little bit. You can click on that and see the full video. So we're cruising up. Now this part I didn't get on tape. I turned my GoPro camera off. So we come up and we're cruising up, and it's, you know, all windy back roads and everything. We come up on this tractor trailer, and he's slowing down. Well, Clement, he passes him. You know, these guys are a little bit more aggressive than me. I'm not knocking that, but they're a little bit more aggressive than me. I'm a little nervous about passing like that because it's a back road and it's windy. He passes him, and I get stuck behind him. Shira and Brian are behind me. This truck is just slowing down. You can hear him going through the gears as he's downshifting, and he's slowing down. Get to about 15 miles an hour. Shira and Brian pass me. So now I'm the only one behind here. These guys pass me, and they pass the truck. So I'm right behind this truck, and I'm cruising along right behind this truck. And he slows down to 10 miles an hour. And I'm leaning out to see if I can get around him. All of a sudden he misses a gear. Boom! And he comes to a complete stop. It sounded like any harder his drive shaft would have fell out. I almost ran into this guy. I turned out and I came this close. I almost smashed my hand in the handlebar onto the lift gate of his truck. So I stopped. There was nobody coming, so I just took off and passed him. I didn't. Unfortunately, I wish I could have got that on tape, but I didn't turn I turned the camera off because I only had a 16 gigabyte card. I didn't want to waste it all on one section. So we're cruising along. I didn't want to waste it all. Yeah. So I pass them, and then they're way up ahead. I can still see them. They slowed down a little bit. I come up on them. Shira and Brian, they wave me past, so I pass them, and I end up back in my position. And we're cruising along, and we end up, I think it was Chester, New York, this really small town. And we pull into this place called Luna Pizza, and it was really good. I had a slice of pizza. This was all on Rider Magazine paid for lunch, so I had a slice of pizza, Mountain Dew, and I ate half of Shira's salad, because it came with a really big salad. So I ate half of her salad, and it was really delicious. And right next to this place was, I wish it would have been open, there was a Ural, Russian motorcycles, Ural motorcycle shop. If you looked at it, it's really cool motor. There's some rugged motorcycles. You get good deals too. You can get a motorcycle and a sidecar for like $11,000, and these things are tough. I want one. So anyways, here's a picture of that shop right here. There's actually two pictures there. I took one of just a sign, and then this one, I took this one with my bike and Clement's Harley parked in front. This place was really cool, but they weren't open. After that, after lunch, we're sitting there talking about motorcycles and stuff, and after lunch we go cruising, and these guys are aggressive. Like I said, I'm not knocking out, but we're going around these turns. I didn't get this on tape. My camera, my card was out. I ran out of space, and we're taking these bends and stuff. I mean, this was a great road to ride. I can't wait to take my wife up there. I can't wait till we go cruise. I'd love to. I want to go back up there when it's less crowded, because it is just awesome. It's just, I won't want to live there because the winters are probably brutal, but it is just awesome. Lake George is just awesome. I can't say enough about it. So anyway, I mean, we're riding along, and Shira and Brian went off on their own then. They took off, so it's just me and Clem, and we're cruising along. Stopped along the highway, and that was about when our ride ended, because he had some other obligations and stuff. He was there to do a speech and you know, take pictures and write a report for the magazine. So we meet him, and he tells me some other things to see, some other things to check out, and that was it. I shook his hand and we left. He was a really cool guy. Brian and Shira, they were really cool. Like I said, check out their magazine, Backroads Touring Motorcycle. I'll have their website in the description box below. Click on that, and you can and maybe you can, they told me you can subscribe, so check that out. It's great. I mean, great writing, great. I mean, for a free magazine, this magazine is awesome. So after that, after on the highway, I pull in, Clem goes, we go our separate ways. I go, yeah, I pass him, he goes into his hotel, I pull into town, I get gas, and oh wait, in the morning, here I just had to say this. In the morning, I pulled into Harley there because I wanted to look at the bikes. It turned out to be a Harley boutique. See the picture? Nothing in there but Harley junk. Overpriced Harley junk. T-shirts and teddy bears with leather jackets and just junk. No bikes. So anyways, let me get back to what I'm saying. So anyways, I didn't really get a chance to check out the other routes that Clem suggested, but me and my wife are going to ride up there when we have some money, and for a weekend or 4 days, and check it out when it's less crowded, because it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful riding. I'm just blown away. Since I'm not staying, I'm gonna go right home. So wasp. I left about 2:35 in the afternoon. They make excellent time. Get down to Newburgh, get back down to Newburgh where 84 connects. I get off the thruway, shoot across 84 west towards Scranton, because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I wasn't sure if I was going to run down 287 to 78 because I was worried about deer and it being nighttime cruising down 209 south through Delaware Water Gap in 33. And I started riding 209 south, and here's a picture of me at the entrance, 209 south to Delaware Water Gap, and then cruising out to, if you've never driven or ridden on 209 south or 209 north, it's a great road to ride on. You should stop at Bushkill Falls. And there's, I think it's Dingham's Bridge. You got to pay a toll to get over it, and it's like a 4-ton bridge, but it's really neat. Deer steps out, and I lay on the horn. I blow the horn. He just looks at me. He's standing on the shoulder, and he just looks at me like he sees cars and bikes and trucks all the time. Like, he looks at me like I'm the idiot, which I probably am. And he just looks at me. Then and I passed him. He didn't step out or anything. And I had one other encounter with a deer on 84. On the way back earlier, he stepped out of the middle section, where the grassy middle section. He stepped out of the grassy middle section, and I laid on the horn. He took off. He took off back in that small section of woods, and I scared him, but the one on 209 I didn't. He didn't even phase it. So I'm driving down. It's uneventful. This is a beautiful ride too. Like I said, I wish I would have had more space on my SD card. I need to get a 32 gig card. So I'm driving down, or riding rather. I'm riding down 209 South to 33, and the ride's pretty much uneventful. I'm making excellent time. I get on 33, 70 pegged all the way down, except through the construction zone. It was really slow. Hit 78. I don't go on 22 because of all the traffic. But I hit 78 west, and it was getting late. It was like 8 o'clock when I got to Allentown. I left Lake George, New York at 2:30. Between 2:30 and 2:45, I'd say. And I was in Allentown on 100 at the Wawa at 8 o'clock, and I call up the wife. I didn't eat anything all day. I didn't even stop. So, except for lunch at 12. And called up and said I'll be home in an hour. And I said, you can make me something to eat. And all I ate, she ended up making me a ramen noodles. Ramen noodles are awesome. So, I got gas there. Ran down and hit the bypass, the road to nowhere. It'll always be the road to nowhere to me in Reading. Hit the road to nowhere. Get off at the Maple Grove exit and go home. I got home about 9:30. That was my ride. It was awesome meeting Clement Salvadori of Rider Magazine, and equally awesome meeting Brian and Shira of Backroads Magazine. If there's anything you ever want to do, just do it. Life is too short. Enjoy it. Don't look back on life and say, I wish I had done that. Look back on your life and say, I can't believe I did that. And buy a motorcycle. You will never regret it.
Oh, he's going on YouTube.